What's the I behind the I in I am? Who's the me behind the I through which I see? Am I the watcher, or is there something else that's wanting to be seen through me? I've accumulated all these things, artifacts, possessions, names. They try to tell a tale of me, but I am holding on to thinking there's a little bit more to the story. Well, I know I'm not the name you say, the things I own, the roles I play. I know there's something breathing me. And if you take away my name and you take away these things, you're left with only awesomeness, the essence that I came here with, the everything. The I am. The I am. And here I stand, my conviction strong and clear. And I admit to listening to those whispers in my ear. You might call me crazy, but I know you hear them too. 'Cause I know that there's a voice behind the voice in you. But you know I'm not the name I say, the things I own, the characters I play. I know there's something breathing me. And if you take away my name and you take away these things, I'm left with only awesomeness, the essence that I came here with, the everything. The I am. The I am. Well, I know I'm not the moon that my fingers pointing to, and I know that I'm not separate from any one of you. It's an elementary game and an energy exchange, a raging river, life's grand giver of everything. The I am. Life's expression, soul-bound connection, pure reflection of all that is divine. I am the muse, I am imbued with a golden hue of light. I am love, that's what I'm of. I am above, I am below. This much I know. Oh, I am this moment, I am that omen. I am everywhere. No beginning, no end. And this weaving in you, breathing in me, this ever-present, everything I am. I am, you are, we be. I am, you are, we be. I am, you are, we be.
So now you know what your real name is, right? It's not Mary or Stephanie or Rebecca or Missy, it's I am. And because I am, you are, we be, One, with a big capital O. One. And isn't that really scary and lovely to know all at the same time? I have this tapestry hanging in my office. It's a quote by Chief Seattle, and a Native American wise chief. And it says that we are woven of the same tapestry. We are all but one thread within that tapestry. This is not a direct quote because I can't think of it right now exactly. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. Scary and wonderful all at the same time. Isn't that just how life is? Scary and wonderful all at the same time. And there is only one presence and one power, and that is the power within us of that I am. So let's take a look in our bulletin and let's affirm that opening statement together. There is only one presence, one power, one activity, God, the good, omnipotent. And the prayer for our church, keeping in mind, as always, our mission to love the soul, light the mind, lift the heart, and heal the body, so that we can love and inspire one another to embody our divinity. So let's keep that in mind as we say this prayer for our church together. Bless the work of our church, O Lord. Let our ideals be true. Let our efforts be helpful. Let our words be filled with healing. Let our attitude be joyful. Let the stranger find true welcome and remain as friend. For the Father draws his beloved to this place in his name. Let love and understanding among all people establish peace in our world. Father, Mother, God, we thank you. We thank you. And we know that drawing of his beloved to this place in his name is that drawing of the Christ that we are to one another, so that we can have that cohesive oneness. And that's what we're going to think about when we hold someone that we love in prayer now, as we go on to the prayer for others. We're going to see them in the Christ of their being, knowing that oneness that we have, knowing the power of prayer, that vibratory energy that it puts out into the universe that affects everything that it touches. And when two or more are gathered, that vibratory energy is even greater. So we center ourselves in that knowing right now as we bring to mind those that we'd like to hold in prayer today together. As I behold the Christ in you, I see you happy, healthy, prosperous, loving, and beloved, going forth joyously to meet your good, to claim your good. And so we claim it with you. We stand in oneness knowing that good is right here, right now. And we see you moving forward in faith, embracing the good that lies before you in this very moment, and with a great expectation of more to come. And as always, we are grateful for answered prayer. Amen. Now I invite you to join us in our hymn for today, which you will find on the cream-colored insert in your bulletin on the side that says,
Holy Ground. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for I walk in God. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your Spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy, gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and in truth I think. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your Spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy, gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I live in love. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your Spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy, gentle, easy. Everywhere I am is holy ground, and I stand in peace. Everywhere I am is holy ground, for the power and the presence of your Spirit makes my path gentle and easy. Gentle, easy, gentle, easy, gentle, easy.
Yeah, when I remember to remember that, right? It'll be gentle and easy when I remember to remember that there is an I am in me that can lead the way if I would just listen. Okay, enough of that. Okay, if you open up your bulletin, you'll see there's a lot of great things going on around here. Next week, our dear Reverend Lori will be up here because I will be out of state visiting family. So she will be talking to you on May 4th. And may the 4th be with you while she is up here doing that. So come on in and join her for that. Impromptu community fellowship meeting we're having right after service here today. Just a couple things that we want to touch on. It's just very short, impromptu, talking about a couple social action things, talking about what the Caring Heart Ministry is, letting people who aren't in the community program know a little bit about what's going on with that. And you can still, if you want to come into that, I have all the recordings. All you have to do is get the book. I can send you the recordings. I can send you the modules that with the work that we've been doing, and you can jump right in and do that with us. And it will be wonderful because it's about, you know, growing individually and growing our community together. So Reverend Stephanie Sy, who is leading this program, holds in her church what she calls hug meetings. And I really like it because it's helping unity grow. Those are the hug meetings, helping unity grow meetings, hug meetings. It can also be helping you grow. Hug meetings. It can be, we can make it anything that we want. So anyway, just, you know, thank you for being here and staying for that. Foundations of Unity class is going to be also happening after service today, and I think we've got a couple people in that have been jumping in there, so we're very grateful for that, and we look forward to possibly having some new members on Membership Sunday in June. Groundskeeping in service, May 3rd, 9 to 12 noon. So come on in, bring your tools, bring your gardening things, and come help us keep these beautiful grounds as beautiful as they are as we keep up with the growth and the wonderful things that are happening also outside of the building of our community. Norma's Book Club continues on Monday, May 5th. This is all like next week, people. May is this week. It's here. I don't know how this is going so fast, but it is. Sound healing is going to be on June 1st with our own Angelo Rizzo, and this is going to be different than what he's done for us in the past. He is going to be having singing bowls that we can learn to actually use. And he's going to be having tuning forks, and you can use them and learn how to use them for the health and well-being of your body and the wonderful vibratory energy that they put out that you can harness for your own well-being. And he's also going to be having his healing sound table here, which is very intriguing to me. So come on in. It's going to be experiential. We have a suggested love offering of $30, so come and join us for that. Angelo is graciously contributing all of the love offerings to our church. So come on in and join in on that. Lifeline screening is happening Wednesday, June 4th. That is by appointment only. The information of how to get those appointments is right here. It's a wonderful way of getting some early testing, things that aren't always done through your doctor's office that you can get as preventative measures. It's a very good rate that they're giving for this when you do it and book it through our church with the code that's presented there. And there's a flyer in your bulletin that you can just print out and share with all of your family and friends. If you would, if they would like to come and take advantage of that, they are certainly welcome to do so. Also, just to back up for a minute, everything that says click here in your bulletin has more information. And there is also a flyer that you can click on for the sound healing. And we want to get the word out because for that, Angelo's inviting his following, his community. We don't want to close anything to people. This is a wonderful way for people to come on in and experience that type of healing and then maybe see that we're here. Hi, hello. Happy to, host these things so you can come and learn more about us too. So print those things out and spread the news around. It is also getting spread on our social media pages and everything, and we're very grateful for that. Okay, just a reminder, prayer is powerful. This is in your bulletin for a reason. You can fill out any prayer requests, put them in the prayer box that's on your way out the door over there on the right on that little table. And someone picks these up every week, and they are prayed over with, and then they are sent to Silent Unity to be held in 30 days of prayer there with Silent Unity. Also, this helps us to know, helps us to keep track as best we can of all of our church family. Even if you don't have any change of information and you're not going to check that box up, if you just put your name and the date, then we can know that you've been here. And when we see that you haven't been around for a while, we do our best to reach out and touch you to see that everything is okay. So fill those out. All right. I think that's everything. So, right? Okay. So I'm going to have Kathy, who is our daily word reader today, come on up and read from a daily word that is pertinent to today's lesson.
Good morning. Today's daily word is hope, which comes from Thursday, June 9th, 1955. Our affirmation is, Christ in me is my hope of glory. You can find this affirmation on the inside cover of your bulletin. Let's affirm it together. Christ in me is my hope of glory. Charles Fillmore, after years of working with truth ideas, teaching and studying metaphysics, came to this conclusion. The greatest teaching ever given is, Christ in you, the hope of glory. We need to keep this idea before us always. We need to think about what Christ is really means to us. Jesus said, before Abraham was born, I am. He was speaking of the Christ in him, the spiritual self of him that was without beginning or end. We have been created in the image and likeness of God, perfect spiritual beings. This perfect creation is the Christ. It is the self of us that does not begin with birth or end with death. It is the self of us that is unchanging, indestructible. It is the self of us that is perfect. Perfect love, perfect life, perfect substance. Our hope of glory lies in bringing forth the Christ as our life in our bodies, as intelligence in our minds, as love in our hearts. Our hope of glory lies in becoming the expression of what we are in spirit, perfect Christ beings. Our Bible verse is from Colossians chapter 1, verse 27. Christ in you, the hope of glory. So again, our affirmation together. Christ in me is my hope of glory. Thank you.
Thank you. So I have a dear one who I have often heard say, "Since I gave up hope, I feel much better." Some of you may be familiar with that saying. And it might sound strange, yet perhaps on further exploration, at some level, it makes sense. If it's true that since I gave up hope, I feel much better, then how can we stand on the truth of this daily word that was just read here and Paul's statement? Christ in you, the hope of glory. Well, I think that it rests on two things. First, we need to think about what Christ in us really means. And second, we need to recognize how we are using hope and understand the difference between hope and what lies beyond hope and how we get there. Our reading today bears these mysteries to us, mysteries that we could maybe look for answers to these questions in. And it is in Colossians, you guessed it, chapter 1, and this is verses 24 to 29. "I now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Christ in my flesh for his body's sake, which is the church, of which I am made a minister, according to the dispensation of God which is given to me for you, to fulfill the word of God, even the mystery which has been hidden from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints, to whom God would make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory, whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Christ Jesus. For this I also labor, striving according to his working, which works in me mightily." So I always like to begin my interpretations by defining some words so that we know that we're all on the same page. And we're going to begin with that first mouthful. "I now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Christ in my flesh for his body's sake, which is the church." How many of us have ever suffered something for someone else? Yeah, especially if you're a parent. I have no doubt you have suffered something for your child's sake. Maybe you suffered emotionally as they went through something that you could not fix for them. Maybe you suffered for a friend in that same way. Maybe you have suffered financially for some reason, scrimping and saving, robbing Peter to pay Paul to provide for your family, or so your kids could go to camp or play a sport or another extracurricular activity, or get some kind of higher education. And you probably did it all, whatever you suffered, to help another happily and rejoiced in their success. Suffering is defined as coming to a knowledge of something by living through it. Well, nowhere in there does it say it has to hurt, though it often does. How many of you have ever come to a knowledge of something by living through it? That's how we come to knowledge of things, right? That's how we come to knowledge of life. And not only have you possibly done it for the sake of another, but there are definitely experiences that you have lived through to come to a knowledge of something for your own sake. Paul speaks of rejoicing in suffering, which seems paradoxical. However, metaphysically, suffering represents the challenges of spiritual growth as we let go of old limiting beliefs to make way for new ones. Rejoicing in suffering means embracing the process of transformation. It's about recognizing life's challenges as opportunities for us to awaken to the strength, faith, wisdom, and power that lie within us, because life is not going to be without its challenges. And when we can look at life that way, it shifts our mindset. We don't have to be victims of suffering. We can become co-creators of our experience, empowered to choose how we are going to experience something and what we are going to take with us from the experience. The joy comes from knowing that our struggles serve a higher purpose, the expansion of our consciousness into higher realms of being. And there's also that joy of, as we talked of before, if we're doing it for the sake of another, the success that it brings, and the sense of satisfaction that maybe for and with them we did that. Paul goes on to say, I fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Christ in my flesh for his body's sake, which is the church. So first, because of the way it's written, let's just take out the his body's sake and replace it with the body's sake. Because we're not talking about the sufferings of Jesus' body on the cross here. Paul said it. We're talking about the church. So what is the church? Yeah. Metaphysically, it's a state of consciousness within us, individually and collectively. A church symbolizes the spiritual ideas we hold in consciousness. The body is the outer expression of our total inner consciousness, our human consciousness and our spiritual consciousness. And the body is also an expression of the collective consciousness of a group of people, like our church community, or any body of people, including the greater body of humanity as a whole. So the church can also represent the collective spiritual awakening of the entire human family. Each person's individual spiritual journey contributes to a greater consciousness of love, wisdom, and unity within the consciousness of humankind as a whole. The work to attain Christ consciousness, as Jesus did, is an ongoing process. The afflictions of Christ represent the inner work of dissolving false beliefs, of aligning with truth, and that can cause a struggle within us. As Paul said, for this I also labor, striving according to his working, the working, which works in me mightily, the working of the Christ of my being. Spiritual growth is the upward progressive movement of spirit within us in our journey to embody our divinity. And in that journey, we're probably going to be, we already have been, I have guarantee that we're going to be afflicted by some of the things that need to be done. Especially when we know what needs to be done and we just don't do it. We don't want to do it. That causes our consciousness to be in conflict. My human consciousness wants to go one way, and my spiritual consciousness says, no, man, you're supposed to be going over here. The things that must be accomplished for my higher good individually and for the collective good of all can be difficult. It might seem as a hardship. Maybe I might even be distressed by them. Yet I must also understand them as opportunities for me to prove the Christ in me, to overcome and rise above. Nothing in life is against me. Everything in life is for me to learn and grow, for me to do and be better, for my greater understanding, for the benefit of my Christ consciousness, for the riches of the glory of this mystery. Humanity evolves and unfolds one individual at a time, just like the healing of our body happens one cell at a time. So we heal humanity one person at a time. Christ in you, Christ in me, works to minister to us and through us as us for the benefit of all of us. It starts here. Christ is the incarnating principle of the God idea of humanity, the divine idea of man being made in its image and likeness and expressing as me and you. It's the perfect word with a capital W, or idea with a capital I, mind, idea, expression, the unity trinity, of God unfolding as us. Christ is the divine pattern of that unfoldment that is within us, every one of us. And that Christ's potential works to uplift, rejuvenate, and heal humanity one individual at a time, each of us with a specific role in the healing process if we would just turn within and listen for direction. Paul says, I am made a minister according to the dispensation of God, which is given to me for you to fulfill the word of God. Remember, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The word that is to be fulfilled, is I am. I am the Christ within. And it's to be fulfilled through you, the I behind the I am. Through me, the I behind I am. Jesus ministered to the people, and it's our job to minister to one another through the Christ of our being, according to the dispensation of God, which is given to me for you, for all of us to fulfill the word of God. The word minister in verb form means to give aid or service. So we're all ministers. We minister to people every day through the works we do at home, at our jobs, in our communities, in this church. There is something great within us, breathing us through the roles we play. It's the essence of our being. I am that I am. It's our responsibility to minister to one another on this journey of life, to help one another and hold one another accountable to live in truth. This is part of how we fulfill the word of God. It's our destiny to be more, to be all we're created to be as an expression of God, as an expression of the divine within, of the oneness of all that is. The pattern of all potential and possibility that lives within us and that we can follow to express this is the I am, the Christ of our being. And that is the mystery which has been hid from ages and from generations. Now, a mystery is not something unknowable. In this case, it's a spiritual truth that has always existed. It's waiting for our awareness of it to unfold within us. The Christ has always been present within us. In John chapter 8, verse 58, in his journey to Christ consciousness, that's when Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, before Abraham was, I am." Abraham lived thousands of years before Jesus was born, at least 2,000. So what can that mean? Then in John 17:5, while praying, he says, "Father, glorify me together with yourself, with the glory which I had with you before the world was." The mystery, which has been hid from ages and from generations, is that the Christ has always been present within us as our divinity. We are made in the image and likeness of something divine. But we, and humanity as a whole, have looked outside of ourselves for this truth instead of within. Some of you may know this, but there's a story, and I think it's a Buddhist story where the gods were looking to, it's an ancient story, the gods were looking to hide man's divinity from him. And so they had a meeting, and they were all talking about where to hide this divinity, and one of them said, hey, let's hide it in the bottom of the ocean. Another one said, no, man is too curious. He's going to dive to the bottom of the ocean and find that divinity. We don't want him to find that, because then, we can't be the gods anymore. Oh, okay, well, what if we hide it on the highest mountain? Nah, man is too aspirational, always striving for more. He's going to get to the top of that mountain, and he's going to find that divinity. We don't want him to do that. I have an idea. Let's hide it within him. He'll never think to look there. Yeah. We are always looking outside of ourselves instead of within, or a lot of the time we are. We're finally figuring out the truth, the mystery, right? And this mystery is now made manifest to the saints. And who are these saints? Oh yeah, it's us again. That's right. As we begin to awaken to spiritual truth, we are saints. A saint is one officially recognized as preeminent for holiness, one of God's chosen. We are all chosen of God because we're all made in the image and likeness of whatever you want to call God, whatever God is. The ultimate energy of the universe, divine mind, divine love, Allah, Yahweh, whatever name you give it, you are it. The name given to Moses was I am that I am. It's universal. So now this truth is made manifest to us saints to prove our purpose, which is to minister to one another and be the saints we are created to be, to whom God would make known the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. And those Gentiles, those represent our worldly thoughts that function through our human senses. And to these thoughts, we must make known the riches of the glory of this mystery of life, which is Christ in you, your hope of glory. That you are the Christ is the mystery to be discovered, the mystery that is your hope of glory. Glory is our realization of oneness in divine unity with one another. Our realization of oneness in divine unity with one another. Glorification is the highest spiritual state of consciousness attainable. So what does that tell you? Glorification is Christ consciousness. And what is hope? What is hope? Well, as with many of our words, there are several definitions of hope. To hope, as we most commonly use it, is to want or to wish something to happen or be true in the future. I hope everything will be okay. I hope they will get better. I hope I can do that someday. I hope I can attain a higher state of consciousness. Yes, Christ in you is the hope of glory, and it's the fulfillment of that glory. Hope is an expectation of good in the future, which if you were here on Good Friday, you'll get this. If we are hoping for our good in the future, we are not in the here and now consciousness of today. And where is our good? Today. It's always in the present, right here, right now. We can't do anything about the past, and the hands of the future are right here, right now, in process. So, okay, did you hear me say that there's anything wrong with hope? No, because there isn't. It's how we use hope that's in question and what lies beyond hope. The original meaning of the word comes from the Greek word elpis, which implies a confident expectation, not just a want or a wish the way we use it. It suggests a sure assurance and a confident anticipation of good in the future. Belief goes beyond hope. When the anticipation of good in the future is met, hope becomes belief. Now that we can see it, we can accept it as right or true because the hope of it came true. Seeing is believing. Eventually, we begin to trust that our hopes will come true. Trust goes beyond belief because after seeing our hopes come true a few times, we begin to have confidence that it will continue that way as we rely on the evidence of our experience. It's really just a more confident level of seeing is believing and a reliability that, yeah, it'll happen. And then there's faith, which goes beyond hope, beyond trust, beyond belief, because it's belief in something unseen and beyond the realm of evidence. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Faith is our ability to create what we desire out of the substance of the universe, to do the seemingly impossible. Hope, belief, trust, and faith represent a spiritual progression that happens within us as we grow and unfold. Hope is the beginning of a spiritual awakening. It's based on the possibility, the expectation that something greater exists. It's open-ended and uncertain, yet it moves us forward. Belief is a step beyond hope. It's mental acceptance of a truth, intellectual but not experiential. We may believe in our divinity, but belief alone does not transform us. We have to do the work. Trust is active reliance based on experience, based on doing the work. It's having confidence in divine order, even when circumstances seem unclear. Trust moves us from thinking and believing to putting our belief into action so that we can begin living spiritual truth. And faith is knowing beyond doubt, spiritual assurance, a deep realization that God is, Christ is, and I am one with all life. Paul's message calls us to move beyond hope and faith, beyond hope into faith, so that we may fully embody the Christ within. And so now, I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me for the next few moments to contemplate and perhaps begin to embody some of what you may have heard here, whatever resonates with you about the Christ of your being, the I am that you are, that we be. So I invite you to begin by becoming comfortable wherever you are and giving your attention to your breath. The breath that breathes you. The breath that uplifts your heart and infills your entire being with life. Just feel this breath of life moving throughout your body. with every inhale. Flowing through your nostrils, down your throat into your lungs. Expanding your heart. Feel it flowing down into your torso, into your legs and your feet. Breathe in the breath of life. Feel it spreading through your arms, flowing into your hands and out and all around you. With each exhale, mindfully release and let go any tension you may be holding in your body. Perhaps consciously drop your shoulders. Relax your head so that it might help you to release anything you're holding on your mind. Breathe in, God is. Exhale, I am. God is. I am. As you become more and more quiet, more and more still, begin to feel your own divine essence as a slight tingling in your body. Maybe at the top of your head, or in your hands or your feet. This is the presence of a divine truth within you. Christ in you, your hope of glory. In the quiet of these moments, there is a treasure fold of peace and power, of love and understanding, of strength and faith. When the world outside seems to bring me down, I know that within me is the power to turn it around. I know this. I think of a time in the past when I felt hopeless and alone. Yet here I am. Perhaps stronger for having lived through it. Maybe even wiser for what I learned. There is always hope. A great expectation. Hope that can become belief. the belief that things can and will get better, even when it doesn't seem like it. I begin to see from within and to trust that there is an order to things in life. I stand in faith, knowing that nothing is against me. It's only here for me. With each life experience, I learn more of the truth that lies within me. Christ in me, my hope of glory. And I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. For Christ is the essence of all I am. I think about the mystery of this truth, knowing that this treasure hidden from the ages is now revealed in me. It lives within me and everyone. I think of the power in this truth to transform my life. And somehow through me, touch the lives of those around me and make a difference in the world. And it all begins with me. Centered in the mystery of this divine truth, I am open in mind and heart as I courageously claim the essence of my being. Christ in me, my hope of glory, my trust, my faith, my knowing. And for this knowing, I am grateful. Amen.
I have been confused because I could not see, while searching for God's love outside of me. And now through loving friends, today I somehow find that God is ever present in the quiet of my mind. Christ within, your hope of glory. This is your hope and mine. Christ within you, I believe this, I perceive this, let it shine. Christ within, your hope of glory. You are perfect by God's design. Christ within you, within me, divine. Sometimes the world outside may try to bring me down, but Now I have the power to turn around. For when I go within, I find such treasure there. I find peace and I find love, enough and more to spare. Christ within, your hope of glory. This is your hope and mine. Christ within you, I believe this, I perceive this, let it shine. Christ within, your hope of glory. You are perfect by God's design. Christ within you, within me, divine. Christ within, your hope of glory. This is your hope and mine. Christ within you, I believe this, I perceive this, let it shine. Christ within, your hope of glory. You are perfect by God's design. Christ within you, Christ within me. Christ within you, within me, divine.
I hope you can feel the mystery. And maybe as we grow into it, it is a mystery no more. But I'm certain there'll be new mysteries to discover along life's way. Hope is a necessity for us, the beginning of our learning who and what we truly are, if we're using it correctly, with sure expectation as is meant from its original definition. So we need to watch our words if we want to move beyond hope to belief, to trust, and finally to recognize the strength of faith that has always been within us. This week, as you listen to your words and how you are using the word hope, ask yourself this: did Jesus have hope? I don't think he did. I don't think he needed it. He had faith beyond hope. Faith in a power within that is greater than any power outside of us. Faith in his ability and the ability of all of us to prove this power as he did, and to know that we too have within us faith beyond hope. Take this into your prayer and meditation time. And maybe you might leave here today, and even after some more contemplation, with a greater understanding of the phrase, "Since I gave up hope, I feel much better." Through the Christ of your being, you have the power of faith as the assurance of things hoped for and the ability to create evidence. You created the evidence of things not seen. because I am that I am lives in, through, and as you. I am, you are, we be. God bless you and have a great week. Just a reminder to everyone, and those of you who are virtually also, that this wonderful community exists on the generosity of spirit that is shared through each and every one of you. So a reminder to please remember to click on that little link in your chat there so that you can practice generosity of spirit. And if you miss out on that, just go to our website and click on giving. There's an opportunity there. As right now, together, we are going to say our affirmation of abundance together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. And for this truth, I am so very grateful, knowing that I am divine love, and I am works in and through me to prove that. And again, together as one. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we give and all that we receive. And where two or more are gathered, the energy is exponential. And so we are so grateful to be the essence of divine love here together, blessing and multiplying all that we give, all that we receive, and being a blessing to the world. And for the honor and privilege to do that and to be a part of this wonderful movement of spirit that we know and love as Unity Church of Christ, we are truly, truly grateful. Amen. Now I invite you to join us in Choosing Love, which you will find on the back of the hymn on your cream-colored insert in your bulletin, and our prayer for protection.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Okay, I'm not going to stand up here. I'm going to come down here with you and my notes. And we're going to do the prayer for protection, and then we're going to have our little meeting. So let us say our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. For wherever we are, God is. And where God is, all is well. And I am grateful to embrace these truths, to know them as a mystery no more, and to be them every day of my life. Amen. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. We'll do our closing song and then we'll have our meeting. I was a little anxious and jumped the gun a little bit.
What's the I behind the I in I am? What's the I behind the I through which I see? Am I the watcher, or is there something else that's wanting to be seen through me? I've accumulated all these things, artifacts, possessions, names. They try to tell the tale of me, but I am holding on to thinking there's a little bit more to the story. But I know I'm not the name you say, the things I own, the roles I play. I know there's something breathing me. And if you take away my name and you take away these things, you're left here with the essence, the awesomeness that I came here with, the everything, the I am, the I am. And I stand here with conviction, strong and clear. And I admit to listening to those whispers in my ear. You might call me crazy, but I know you hear them too. 'Cause you know that there's a voice behind the voice in you. Well, I know it's not the name I say, the things I own, the roles I play. I know there's something breathing me. And if you take away my name and you take away these things, you're left here with this awesomeness, this essence that I came here with, the everything, the I am, the I am. And I know I'm not the moon that my finger's pointing to, and I know that I'm not separate from any one of you. It's an elementary game, an energy exchange, a raging river, life's transgiver of everything that I am. Life's expression, soul-bound connection, pure reflection of all that is divine. I am the muse, I am imbued with golden hue of light. Well, I am love, that's what I'm of, and I am of and up above, and this I know. I am this moment, I am that moment, I'm everywhere, no beginning and no end. And this weaving in you, breathing in me, this ever-present, everything I am. And I am, you are, we be. I am, you are, we be.
right now to be together. So just a couple of things that we wanted to share with you is a couple of social action things that, one, we've been doing that we've been calling lotions and potions. We actually went to St. Bartholomew in Cherry Hill to package those things with them, and we learned a lot while we were there, and we're going to change the way we do this. And we are now going to be calling it Adopt a Box. And if you would like to participate in this, we're going to be doing it, collecting it year-round, even though we will be taking it all over to St. Bartholomew in the springtime. It's going to be a year-round collection. And how we're doing it is this. There are instructions and a list on the table in the narthex that will just stay out there. You take that list. If you are going to do full-size items, go to the dollar store or whatever, and you can do it maybe one box a year throughout the year, or however many times you want to do it. And in that box, you have a checklist of the items that you put in that box. And then you are to label that box by putting that checklist on top and marking it, what is in it, because the boxes will either be for an adult male, a child male, an adult female, or a child female. And you'll see, it's pretty clear, I think, how it's being done. And you'll put that on the outside of the box so they know who to give it to when the people come into the homeless shelter. And are those for the homeless shelter, or are those for the transitioning people?
The homeless shelter.
The boxes?
For all different kinds of shelters.
All different kinds of shelters, therefore. So anyway, it's pretty clear, and we're going to be calling it that now. And this saves, because it's very chaotic with all of the things being all over the place in there and us putting the boxes together. The thing I do want to tell you is nothing goes in the box except what's on the list. No food, no money, nothing except what's on the list. That's all that goes in the box. The other thing that you can do is you can get a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. Same list with sample-size things in it, little things, because those are handed out to homeless on the street. So same list, smaller items, sample-size items. So that's what we're doing now. We're calling it Adopt a Box. And we have another little project that we're doing that's being sponsored by our licensed Unity teacher, Stephanie Bushman, and that is Critter Corner. So you're going to see right outside the sanctuary doors here in the corner, near the coat rack, we're setting up a basket, and we're calling it Critter Corner. And Stephanie will be collecting. Do we have a list of those things? Is that out there too?
Yeah, but it's anything and everything that any pet or animal would need. So whether it's cats, dogs, horses, hamsters, fish, but anything, cages, food, toys, etc.
Blankets, towels, anything like that, beds, whatever. Any kind of critter thing can go into that. Maybe the beddings that you put down inside the cages and things like that. So, and if you would like to join Stephanie in distribution of these items, or even have an idea in mind of a place that you would like to see some distribution go to, you can contact Stephanie either when she's here or at steph.in.unity@gmail.com. I got it down. And so that's another project that we're going to be doing. Okay, we had a Caring Hearts ministry that it kind of didn't need it for a while, so it sort of just disappeared. And we're calling for people to sign up for that again. And maybe for somebody to sort of be the head of it, to kind of know from the office and from us who are the people that are going to need our Caring Hearts. And what that ministry does is it might provide transportation for somebody to go to the doctor. And I'm talking about people in our church community. We have several people who are with us virtually and can't get here anymore. And they dearly miss us, even just to go visit with one of them once a month, or once every other month or whatever. Maybe if somebody, has a surgery or some kind of need and needs to have food brought to them or some kind of help in that respect. So there is a list in the narthex that you can sign up on, and if you would like to spearhead this, please come see me, because somebody, we really need somebody to maybe just take ownership of that, to make that really go and really happen. But I can think of at least 3 people very involved in this community off the top of my head who can't get here anymore, and who dearly miss us, that would really benefit from this. So that's another thing that I wanted to share with you. Pardon me? Who could also maybe use a ride to church. That's right. That's right. So if you happen to live over near them somewhere, that might be something possible. I know one person lives in Mount Ephraim, another one lives in Burlington, I think, near Burlington, and another one lives right in Pennsauken. So, it depends on the day for some of them too, whether or not they would be up for that or not. And they welcome, even a check-in phone call, for people to just reach out to them, send a card, just to say, hi, how you doing, thinking about you. And I'll tell you who they are. There's not a secret. It's Norma. Right now, the 3 that are on the top of my head are Norma Geyer, Barbara Margulies, and Charlotte Meets. So they really, really could use benefit from this. Okay, Beloved Community Program. If you haven't signed up for that, it's okay. We still want to share with you what's going on in it, and we would love for you to, if you still are interested, can send you links to the videos of meetings, that we've already had. I can send you modules to do some of the work. And I am also going to say to those people who are in the program doing the work, when you really do this, I've really been like immersing myself in this, and this last chapter was, yeah. That embracing the shadow worksheet, if you're going to really sit down and do that. And when you're reading the book, we don't have the book in the bookstore. You'll need to get that on your own. And it's, which one is it? Creating the beloved community, because there's 2. This one is the creating the beloved community. It talks about how leadership, and you as leader, we are all leaders of this church, okay? This is not my church or the board president's church. This is your church. This is our church. We are all leaders in this church. And so we all need to embrace these things, and there is really growth in this if you do the work. It works if you work it. I know some of you hear me when I'm saying that. And so I really encourage you to do the work. We're going to have maybe here and there some of these impromptu meetings to share some of the things. Some of the things that we've been working on are, what do we see as obstacles, not just to our individual growth, but in our church, to the growth of our church, because it starts here, as we just went through. It all begins here. And then how do I deal with obstacles that may come up? And what is an obstacle? And it lays it out in this book. 3 of them I could think of off the top of my head. There were 4 that were listed. One of them is addiction to form. Notice we've been trying to break that one. The form of our service has changed a bit. Maybe these are some things we need to think about in some of the other things that we do in life. One of them is an obstacle can be me being immersed in my level of understanding and not being open to somebody else's level of understanding, or any kind of understanding of somebody else based on where I am in my life. And that has partly to do with spiral dynamics, and also recognizing the strengths in one another and using those strengths within our community, and my own expectations of myself, of my life, of my community. And so how can that be an obstacle? So there's really a lot of deep thinking in this, and I really would encourage you to do the work and to be a part of it. I just also want to give you a heads up that we are having a community meeting that will be on Zoom. The board is doing a mid-year community meeting on June 22nd after the service. So we're going to have people. Unfortunately, this was very impromptu, and we didn't set up a Zoom for our virtual people. So if you know any of them, please apologize. We just did it very impromptu and did not set up for that. And one thing that I want to also encourage you is keep our church in your prayer time. Envision the healthy, prosperous, happy, joyful growth happening in here, because there is growth happening here, and how we can open ourselves to the community, the greater community, and encourage and do what we are here to do, love and inspire one another to embody our divinity, and anybody that comes in here to do that, because the more we envision the good in our church and how we can share it outside of here and embrace and bring community into here, that vibratory energy goes out to the universe and creates something. We know there's power in prayer. I just wonder how often we really, really think about that and are really, really using it. So I'm inviting you to make a conscious effort to do that, to see our church family happy, healthy, prosperous, and growing. On that note, I am going to just mention to you that you need to keep an eye out on the board's transparency of financial situation in your bulletin and your blast. The board has made a resolution that people are to be paid. So if something's going to give, it's not going to be people anymore. It's going to be utilities, rent, or something else. We know that there is a prosperity consciousness in here. And I tell you that because it's been demonstrated over and over again. So let's make sure we immerse ourselves in that. Let's make sure that we keep that flow going. The flow of good has to move in, through, and around. That involves giving and receiving. And we need to make sure that we keep that happening and that we keep that vision for our church, that prosperity vision that is in your bulletin. A couple things have happened. One thing I'm going to tell you is he still here? No. Okay. I don't want to embarrass him. That we built a soundboard, a $2,000 soundboard into our budget for this year because our soundboard was going. We were going to have a problem with streaming and with sound in here and everything. So we built that into the vision. Our very generous pianist donated a $6,000 soundboard to this church. That is a prosperity consciousness, his and ours, okay? So we are very grateful to that. However, the universe is funny. We have had some, we build contingencies into the budget just in case, and we are using some of those contingencies. We have had some, over the past 2 weeks, major computer issues in the offices, and some things that we've upgraded and fixed for the live streaming. And so we have extra bills that we need to pay. And in addition to that, we had a cold winter. Because we had a cold winter, the heat was running more. And so we're on a budget. And guess what? You are on a budget, you know that when the end of that budget year comes, you got an adjustment one way or another. And guess where ours went? Whoop. So we have a big adjustment. We have like a $1,200 extra that we need to take care of. So we're just letting you know what's going on so that there are no surprises. And thanking you for all that you do, all that you are, all that you give. And thank you, thank you, thank you for your generous spirits in all of the ways that you share that with us. And just, we want to keep our family informed. And so that's it. I don't have anything unless anybody else has anything.